Welcome back to Tenino. It is time to wrap this one up with the Aldersons Awards West post-game show. For trophies, awards, t-shirts, and so much more, go to aldersons.net and check out their full catalog. Welcome back to Tenino. I am Matthew King, joined alongside Jeff Matarochi. For those watching live or on demand, if you're checking out the post-game show on the recap section on Eli Sports Networks, you missed a fantastic football game. Tenino was running away with it in that first half, just could not be stopped. 32 points in the first half. They led Montesano 32-12. Second half, though, Jackson Wilson comes in for the Bulldogs at quarterback, completely flips the script. Montesano outscores the Tenino Beavers 14-0 in the second half, but fall just short, losing this one 32-26. Jeff, a lot of fight in the Bulldogs. They were dealing with a lot of injuries. They come into this one, a lot of young guys suiting up. This team has to like what they saw. It didn't end up going in their favor. They got to love what they saw from their team tonight.
Well, the effort that they put out in the second half, they did have a chance to actually make a game of it here at the end. But they, shut down a really hot offense from Tenino, who, like you said, put up 32 points in the first half and nothing in the second half. Actually, on offense in the second half, Tenino really didn't accomplish a whole lot, to be honest with you. The Montesano Bulldogs definitely came out with, fight in their heart. They were going fast-paced right off the bat. Then they, didn't quite do it on the first one, but then they slowed it down, and then that's when they scored, their first one of the two touchdowns in the second half. And very, very impressive outing for them. Like you said, and this has been the first time that Tenino's beat these guys in quite a while. And that's 2 weeks in a row, because last week Tenino got by Hoquiam, who, again, it's a major – it had been like 14 years since the last time they beat those guys. So they're, and then they have 2 games left, and both of them are on the road. So this will be the last one here on the blacktop this season.
At Tenino, they are ridding a lot of demons. This team is very talented. They proved tonight they are not just lethal in this league. They're lethal in the state. They can play with anybody. They're looking to make some noise in the state tournament coming up. Got 2 more games, though, to take care of business, wrap up that second-place finish in the 1A FCO. Got to cross their fingers. Eatonville has to lose out. Tenino has to win out for the Beavers to win the league. It's going to be a tough ask. Eatonville, so talented, but the second-place finish for Tenino is going to be their best finish in years. It's Tenino faithful. They're ready to watch a winning team. They're ready to maybe play a playoff game here on the blacktop.
Yeah, that is definitely, not to, push ages on people. You see a lot of the older people who are in the stands and stuff tonight, like nothing but thrilled on what's going on for the team right now. Again, you mentioned they had that one loss against Eatonville. That was 2 points. That could have went either way, so they could be the one who's on top in Eatonville following them. But we'll see what the next couple of weeks brings for both these teams. And like I said, they could make some noise in the playoffs.
And I believe Eatonville, the number 2 or number 3 team ranked in the state. Tenino came into this one number 6. We'll see if they get a little bit of a bump up, fending off a ferocious Montesano comeback. The Bulldogs, their 3rd straight loss, not exactly what they wanted to see. But we will go through a quick scoring recap. It started early. Takari Hickel, just 3 plays to go 56 yards for the Beavers on that first drive. Hickel finishes off with an 11-yard touchdown and 2-point conversion, make it 8-0 Beavers. Then Isaiah Pierce quickly answers for Montesano. He runs one in from 33 yards out. The 2-point attempt for Montesano, no good. They trailed 8-6, but from there on in that first half, it was all Tenino. Dylan Spicer on 4th down runs it in from 14 yards out to make it 16-6. Gavin Watson, a fantastic game from him. He would step in for Hickel when Hickel needed a breather. In one of those carries, he went 17 yards to the house to make it 24-6 Beavers. Montesano would finally find the end zone again. A fantastic read option from Jackson Wilson. He runs it in from 14 yards out to make it 24-12. One more score in the first half would be Sean Nicholson. Just a 1-yard touchdown run to make it 32-12 Beavers. That would be the score headed into halftime. To start the second half, Montesano, a pretty good drive, wasn't able to punch it in. That really turned out to be the difference maker. They would get that big stop and then have a long drive, capping things off with a 2-yard touchdown run from Isaiah Pierce. That made it 32-19. Then Jackson Wilson starts airing it out a little bit more, finds Cole Eckerson for a 2-yard touchdown, 32-26 with 6:41 to go. They have a chance, a 4th and 9. Jackson Wilson is sacked. That seals the deal. A couple of first downs for Tenino. Finishes this one off for the Beavers. We're going to go ahead and get into our MVPs for this one. First, our visiting team MVP brought to you by Pacific Sports Spa in Chehalis. Pacific Sports Spa can get you back in the game in a hurry and is a leader in rapid recovery. Go get yourself game ready at pacificsportsspa.com. For the Montesano Bulldogs, I think we both agreed it was a pretty easy call for them. We talked about Jackson Wilson, a lot of heart from him, but got to go with Isaiah Pierce, the senior. Finishes 36 carries, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had a couple of catches for 33 yards. 36 carries, though. That is the definition of a workhorse running back.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And he even made some big plays on defense, too, on the other side of the ball. I think that's a great pick for that team tonight.
Congratulations to Isaiah Pierce, an absolute monster game from him. Speaking of monsters, for Tenino, our home team MVP brought to you by Thorbeck's Wellness Center in Chehalis, Centralia, and South Bend. Strong today, stronger tomorrow, strongest together at Thorbeck's. For the Tenino Beavers, got to go with the senior, the Oregon State commit, Takari Hickel. 26 carries, 192 yards, and a touchdown. Didn't score in the second half. 4 different rushers had touchdowns, but Takari Hickel was their guy when they needed a play. They gave the ball to him, and he was also a monster on defense. Came up with a sack, a bunch of big tackles right at the line of scrimmage to kind of stifle this running game for Montesano a couple of times. Takari Hickel, you're not going to stop him. You better hope you can contain him.
Yeah, definitely. Even as good as an offensive player is, I'm actually more impressed with his defensive side of the ball. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens when he makes the step up to the next league.
It will be exciting. Of course, Oregon State fell last week to my Cougs, so got to get that one in. But congratulations to Takari Hickel. He is going to make a big impact at Oregon State. He's not done here, though. He's looking to go win a state title this season. But congratulations to both Mr. Hickel and Isaiah Pierce, our MVPs for this one. A look ahead to what's next. Montesano will try to now snap a 3-game losing streak next Friday. They will return home for their senior night as they host the Hoquiam Grizzlies. Try and right the ship, get a couple of wins before the playoffs start. Meanwhile, the Tenino Beavers now 6-1. One more league game. That'll be on the road next week, visiting the Elma Eagles. That team is pretty feisty. They aren't going to go down without a fight. So Tenino got to get back to the drawing board, get things set for next week. A tough matchup with the Elma Eagles. That is going to do it for this edition of High School Sports on the Eli and NFHS Sports Network. Once again, your final, the Tenino Beavers knock off the Montesano Bulldogs for the first time since 2013 by a final score of 32-26. For Jeff Matarochi, I am Matthew King. That will do it for this edition of High School Sports on the Eli and NFHS Sports Networks. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at YourESN for upcoming schedules. Got some good games tomorrow. We will hope to see you there for more high school football on the Eli and NFHS Sports Networks. Have yourselves a good rest of your night.